I'd like to apologize to you, my dear audience, for a poor dead horse needs to be beaten over the head again, savagely I might add. Let me be the 1000th person to rip on water levels once again. I could not say I do not enjoy diving into water-themed levels in my video games. Maneuvering these kinds of levels was like wading through molasses with ankle weights. Every moment spent submerged felt like an eternity to navigate. Now picture this point of view. You're enjoying some Super Mario Brothers, whatever entry, 1, 2, 3, world, whatever, and the water levels just break the frenetic pace you had become accustomed to in all the land stages. Mario Bros. 3 is only tolerable because you're able to move around more freely in the frog suit, the way a water level was meant to be played. This video is not meant to merely critique the water level in video games, but to offer a different viewpoint, an appreciation for the beauty of water and tropical vibes in video games. Today, I jumped straight off that diving board into a vast sea composed of the wonderful liquid known as water. Some of my favorite video games. Grab a bottle of your favorite H2O and find your closest palm tree to sit under, as we're taking a plunge into the cool, refreshing depths of digital waters. Human beings are mostly composed of it. We need to drink it for survival, and many of the world's animals resides in various forms of it. Oceans, lakes, rivers, you name it. You know how in life different passions come and go for you? As I grow older, so does my fascination for niche topics. As of the past couple of years, people have begun making videos about once popular internet aesthetics / branding aesthetics, such as the ever popular Frutiger arrow. You don't know what Frutiger arrow is? I'll give you a brief summary. As many other content creators have covered in depth at this point, Frutiger arrow was a brand aesthetic often used in the early 2000s that intertwined nature with technology and was most often used in marketing materials and whatnot. Frutiger arrow themes consisted of aquatic life merged with technology. Glossy bubbles spewing out of computer monitors, add a couple of fish, and you got Frutiger arrow. I bring this up as the deeply thirst-quenching imagery associated with Frutiger arrow compelled me to ponder on the wonders of water in digital spaces, video games specifically. It scratches a specific itch that releases all the serotonin. I immediately start reminiscing on all the bodies of water I'd frequent in various video games growing up. Anytime I'd return to the sun-soaked waters of Isle Delfino reminds me of playing Super Mario Sunshine during summer vacation as a kid, coming out from the pool, eating a nice cold-cut sandwich, some fresh slices of watermelon, and just basking in the digital oasis sometime after drying off, preferably in a Pirates of the Caribbean towel. I know you guys out there had that if you're around my age. It doesn't get any better than that, man. Actually, that doesn't paint the whole truth. Water in video games, while scenic, could be frustrating at times. I have no doubt that Ocarina of Time is largely responsible for most gamers' hatred of the water level, including myself. Again, it felt like an absolute slog to get through as a kid. The way Link walked around with the iron boots felt like forever to make it to anywhere you wanted to go. The 3DS version greatly improves upon this by making it much more tolerable with the aid of arrows directing you, but still left me wanting to get through it all quickly. Swimming in old 3D platformers wasn't the greatest either. In games like Banjo-Kazooie or even Mario 64, it greatly inhibits your movement options in titles that are all about mobility. It took developers a while to get the feeling of moving through water right, at least without the aid of aquatic apparatus. Sounds like a cool band name, doesn't it? Aquatic apparatus, yeah! Now, I can't talk about water in video games without mentioning how cumbersome moving around in it can be. That being said, let the glazing commence. My gosh, do I love the way water looks in video games. I just wanted to be one with the ocean at times, like some shit out of Moana, you know? I'd be playing some Sonic Adventure, taking in the views of Emerald Coast, coupled with that beachy tune that expertly captured the feelings of relaxation all while watching the early 3D waves wash along the shores. Nothing like chilling on Destiny Islands with your childhood friends, as seagulls flock the vicinity of the beach as the ocean seems to wink at you in all its PS2 era glory. The crystal clear blue waters of the 6th generation are among my favorites, and I'm sure nostalgia plays a big role in that because it's one of the best damn drugs out there. Shout out to Inside Out too. Let's bring it back to Super Mario Sunshine, shall we? Those sun-kissed sands and deep blue waters and tropical vibes of Isle Delfino combined sets the scene for one of my favorite game worlds to explore in. Sunshine encapsulates what it must be like to be at a tropical resort. Multiple little sandboxes to get lost inside, while lush green grass and sun-kissed sands adorn each locale. The gentle movement of the ocean waves on a warm summer's day is nothing short of enchanting. One glance at Delfino's waters fills my head with hums of Caribbean steel drums set to a scene of lit tiki torches as their flames roar in the summer night. Super Mario Sunshine definitely ranks high on my list of favorite gaming waters to inhabit. Not to mention the fact that the whole game centers around it, not only in setting, but gameplay. With Professor Egad's latest invention, Flood, Mario must clean up Isle Delfino for crimes he didn't even commit. Talk about a bad time. I don't understand people's qualms with Flood, as I feel is one of the most delightful inclusions to the traditional 3D Mario formula. Dousing all the goop away felt so satisfying, especially with the press of the analog triggers of the GameCube controller, allowing you to control the water pressure so precisely. Combining wall jumps with Flood's hover nozzle made for some sick platforming gameplay goodness. Anytime you gain some sort of fun vertical movement option in a video game makes for a happy Mikey. A water-propelled jetpack? Sign me the f*** up. The rocket nozzle allowed you to soar super high in the air too. I used to love charging it all the way up and after releasing the trigger, immediately performing a dive to gain extra momentum across the map. The turbo nozzle allowed you to dash all around at breakneck speeds. I love jumping into the ocean and just dashing all around for several minutes at a time. Let's take a look at Wave Race Blue Storm. Wave Race Blue Storm is the direct sequel to Wave Race 64 and was a launch title for the GameCube. For a game that is well over drinking age, the physics hold up remarkably well. Every trek across the icy blue waters of Blue Storm puts the biggest smile on my face from how crisp it all looks and feels. The little lunchbox console was a powerhouse of its time. Blue Storm showcased the raw power harnessed by the GameCube with detailed textures, character models, and the fierce roaring waters of the game world that'll have you begging for a swim and maybe reaching for a Capri Sun roaring waters while you're at it. Wave Race Blue Storm was the quintessential title next to Luigi's Mansion to truly gain a grasp on just how much of a leap forward for Nintendo the GameCube truly was. I mean, just look at the loading screens. Don't you just want to squish your feet into the wet sands? Don't you want to splash all around like a Magikarp? The physics blows my balls away. I don't know how else to describe it. The way the water shimmies along like skipping a stone across a crisp blue lake. Each ripple of water cascades like a shockwave. It's like if that one Neutrogena commercial was a video game. Unfortunately, we have not seen a new Wave Race since Blue Storm. I can only imagine what it would look like on Switch 2. Wave Race Blue Storm passes the vibe check of digital watery goodness, and I highly recommend that playthrough if you're looking for a fun racing experience on the GameCube that lures you in with its wonderful water physics and gorgeous graphics. Continuing with the GameCube trend, we turn to none other than The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, where the grandness of the Great Sea is all-encompassing. I can't make a video about some of my favorite waters in video games without mentioning the Zelda title, where trekking across the water is literally the focal point. Link finds himself mixed up with pirates after they set anchor on Outset Island, a cozy little place with homespun inhabitants including Link, his sister Auril, and their grandma. Once you make your way past the Forsaken Fortress, you will eventually meet with the King of Red Lions, who happens to be a boat and is revealed to be the King of Hyrule himself. This is where Wind Waker truly begins. Out on the great blue sea, adventure and treasure awaits. I always loved the way the water looked in Wind Waker. The cartoony white swirls that make up the waves stayed rent-free in my mind ever since I first played the game. They had a calming effect that invites you on a journey of self-discovery and ever-broadening horizons. The cel-shaded graphics adds an extra layer of charm to bring the world together in a warm, childlike storybook kind of way. The gentle waves can bring upon a soothing effect, while stormy seas adds extra tension with increased enemy encounters as well. The music always crept me out with the quick movements of the giant octoroks that would swarm around your boat. But the dreamy blue waters of Wind Waker contrast that, and they mean so much more to me than just a place to explore. They are a living embodiment of both adventure and mystique. It is made all the while more magical as you assume the role of yet another young Link, not to be confused with the one seen in Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. The vast seas where Link steals a sword, sharpens his resolve, and hoists his sails to rescue Arl and save Hyrule once again from the evil clutches of Ganondorf. This wasn't intentionally about the 6th generation of consoles, GameCube specifically, but the combined elements of childhood wonder and a fascination with crystal clear waters naturally call to mind games like Wave Race Blue Storm, The Wind Waker, and Super Mario Sunshine, and my deep reverence for their oceanic themes. While navigating water video games can be quite cumbersome depending on the game in question, I've grown fond of the vibe associated with them over time. To close things off here, we'll take a look at one of the most famous examples of nautical based levels in gaming history in Donkey Kong Country, and one of my personal favorites, Coral Capers. After you progress through the game a bit, probably like the first half hour, you'll come to a stage called Coral Capers. Coral Capers is nestled in halfway through the first game world of Donkey Kong Country, which is Congo Jungle, and is the first ever water level in the game. The Kongs find themselves deep below the surface of the ocean near Congo Island without the need to breathe air, no less. Yo, Donkey and Diddy got some strong lungs to be able to withstand that. They don't have to come up for air at all throughout their time at Coral Capers, or any water level thereafter. This has got to be one of the most iconic levels in the Donkey Kong franchise, and is not only an excellent way to present a water level in a video game, but it passes the vibe check big time. The Super Nintendo utilizes a technique here called parallax scrolling to simulate gentle waves as foreground and background elements move slightly out of sync, producing the illusion of moving waters. I didn't know what the hell a parallax scrolling was as a kid, but all I knew was that was really impressive even for back in the day. Now, I must have played Donkey Kong Country around 2003, it was probably like the first time I ever played it, but I was blown away by the pre-rendered graphics, and all the aquatic themed enemies and stuff like that were fun to take down as Unguard, which is the swordfish that Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong ride throughout the level. When you combine all these different elements, coupled with the deeply enchanting classic track Aquatic Ambience, as composed by David Wise, it was enough to leave me in such a peaceful trance, and still has me feel the same way today as it has 20 years ago. I don't think there's ever a time where I'm listening to Aquatic Ambience, whether I'm doing research for videos or just vibing out in my room. I always think of like aquatic levels, and the levels that it's from just set the bar so high of what makes a truly memorable water level in a video game. Yeah, just closing out with you guys today, I really just wanted to put my thoughts out there and really get like these more niche topics off my chest. And I'm gonna be honest, it was incredibly hard to put into words like my deep passion for like weird topics like this, but I hope you guys were able to get something out of this. I'd love to hear what your favorite water levels in video games are, or your favorite vibes associated with water in video games. It's kind of a broad subject, so whatever your interpretation of water in video games, just comment below as always, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm almost up to 500 subscribers as of the timing of this video, and it would help out so much if you could just share my content with other people, other gamers in your life that really have a fondness for these like more nuanced topics, more niche topics, stuff like that really goes below the surface. You know what I'm talking about? Enough rambling out of me, guys. That's gonna do it for me. As always, have yourselves a good one.